Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, your one and only Mr. Rickety, and alongside me we have my teammate who has more luck than I have this season. Uh, it is Mr. Rocco, and I am actually quite unsure if Rocco is here, or numbing on his Pringles that he
Hello.
currently has. There he is. How are you doing, Rocco?
I'm good, mate. I'm absolutely brilliant.
Right. So, if you're wondering why Rocco might have a different accent for today, uh, that is by design.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. So basically, Rocco has been pretending to be have a fake Italian accent. He doesn't. He has a Scottish accent, and you're here today. He revealed it to us yesterday to the league, and he revealed it to me the day before. Uh, but yeah, that's it. We're here in Portimao, and we are heading right into qualifying. And qualifying we shall head into.
Yeah, I think Roy is in the lobby as an engineer for Alpine.
Well
That will
done.
be dealt with later.
If you cannot write to him now,
Yeah, I'm telling him to leave.
yeah.
Okay. Let's just see. I think Mike's first out of the pit lane.
Uh, that you're absolutely correct in. Uh,
Only one out on track so far, so pretty confident. There we go. Roy's left, so that's
so basically, to explain it all, whose choice was it to get Portimao on the calendar? Not mine.
not mine.
It was Rocco.
It was mine. It was mine.
But he says
I
it's
love
a
this
good
track. It's
racing track.
great.
He says it's a
It's
good
good.
racing track, so I put my trust in him that it's a good racing track, and hopefully it
We had
is.
2 races here, and both of them have been brilliant. So
Mm-hmm.
surely.
I don't remember it being brilliant, but sure, we go on from that. Anywho, it's the AlphaTauri currently out on track, and what makes Portimao so unique, something that it shares with Turkey actually, is that there is like it's like a roller coaster. It goes up and down, side to side, like a roller coaster, like Mr. Lando Norris once said. And
It's just a great track. It's so good.
the apex is like it catch you off guard. Like you don't expect the apex to come until it's already too late. Most of the time.
Yeah.
Uh,
There's
but
some corners that aren't too good. Also, Mike has just invalidated his lap, so he'll have to go back into the pit lane right
looks
now.
like
But
it.
Jan is next, so we can wait for Jan to come across the line.
I'm just gonna see if Mike's lap is valid. No, it's not, and he stays out as well. So maybe he's just putting out a benchmark. So yeah, like I said, we're on board with Jan. Jan, a veteran here at Power F1. He's been racing since the CRL days. And yeah, I remember him in Racing Point now that I've seen a couple of videos of it. I remember racing him. He's been a quite consistent driver, but sadly not just just out of reach of the win. And let's see if he can gather a win here today because No Fail has been talking high praise of him in the VC we had before.
Yeah, apparently I had a really good time trial lap, so let's just see if I can get on. So far, it looks actually really clean. It's just a little bit of loops there. This corner is really easy to spin, but he's kept it fairly clean. Down to this corner, probably one of my least favorite corners on the track. Take a wide line in, as close to the curve as you can on the exit. This is pretty decent lap so far, actually.
That you're absolutely right, and like I mentioned before, big
Oh,
evolution
invalidated.
changes. And when I did say that it was gonna catch you off guard, it will.
Yeah, that's one thing here. The track limits are not very nice. I think we'll probably see a few time penalties, but
Yeah.
from my experience, there's a lot of time penalties, but the racing has been good. So keep it on the track. Cheer in with a decent chance of some good points.
So the second car that was out on track is Mr. TC Master. Shuts up purple sector 2. He's the only one who has set up sector purple sector because he's the only one who has a valid lap for the moment. On board with him currently, he will go across the line in a moment's time. He finishes off this lap in the final corner, as you want to keep a tight line into the start-finish straight. Crosses the line now, and that's a 1:18 flat. Is that a good time for you?
I think TC can do better than that than what he's just done. If I'm being honest.
Yeah, talking about that.
And
Jersey
there you go,
just
Jersey 17.6.
half a second
and
faster.
Chris Wiggle 17.2. No Phil 16.7. Yeah, I think that TC can definitely do better than that.
Yeah. No Phil giving space to the Alpine coming next. Hopefully it doesn't impede the lap. Talking about the Alpine, let's jump on board with him. It's Cosmonauts, and he is on a recharge lap as well. So we'll jump on board one of the Haas's. Or is it a Haas? Do we have a Haas? Yes, we have.
Unstoppable.
P18. P8.
Shark goes to P3 and Dixie goes to 4th. So not bad for the Mercedes so far.
Mercedes is the closest team I've seen. Red Bull just have the biggest Red Bull sandwich that we've seen. McLaren, there's a bigger gap there. Of course, there's only one McLaren showing up today. Bowler Tickling Sense. I did check in that he was going to race, but isn't here today. Let's see if he's going to join in mid-qualifying. Anyways, Unstoppable on the lap right now. Let's see what he can get out from this car. Like, Portimao is one of the trickiest track I know, which is also one of the tracks that you really need to be consistent in. Like, no matter what, if you decide to...
every lap.
Yeah.
Not too close.
Exactly. If you just go over the limit, you know, race could be over right then and there, because there's just grass surrounding you. It's not like France, where you can just easily recover. You're simply out of it. Unstoppable 118.8, so he is the slowest of the people outside of time so far. And No Phil just lives up to his name. He didn't fail. That's a good benchmark as well.
5/10s clear, Chris Wiggle.
Yeah, on his first lap. How about that?
A little bit of practice condition.
Yeah, exactly. Well done. We have Lars crossing the line, and he's currently P11. And he got the better of Unstoppable, but not the rest of the 10 drivers that have set a lap so far. And that might sound a bit harsh. It is. But simply put, Lars should be up there. He has the pace. He just needs to work on just simply being comfortable with the setup and being on the limit constantly. I feel like Lars, as a driver, he, in a race trim, he likes to be comfortable rather than pushing his limit. Which is, you know, that's where you lose time, because you don't just want to make up the lap times. You wanna get closer. You wanna be faster. Stay as close as you can to the limit, and yeah, maybe his setup is not built for that, as we've seen this season so far.
Aston Martin probably just distracted Thomas D there as he absolutely rattles the curb as a spin at turn 1. Some of the curbs are very high, and if you hit them at all the wrong way, they'll send you absolutely flying, as we've just, well, what I've just seen. I don't know what you've seen, but I've definitely just seen Thomas D go absolutely flying into the runoff.
They don't quite see that. I just saw Thomas D stuck.
Got some traffic from the Aston Martin. I don't know who it would have been. TC, I think. But no, he didn't impede, but Thomas probably just got a bit distracted. Hit the curb.
Yeah.
More laps I'm seeing, the more I'm like kind of realizing that the time that No Phil's done is actually
insane.
pretty good. Yeah.
Well, we've seen No Phil take pole before. It's just a matter of can he keep it there for the rest of the race. And No Phil just...
No Phil now on an out lap. I think maybe he has some more, that's why he's going out again. Thinks he can catch up that 5/10.
Have you been in Portugal?
Have I been in Portugal?
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
It's a quite nice place, isn't it?
Yeah, it actually is. It's really nice.
I've had a bad experience in Portugal in one of those restaurants. So we had like an RV trip, right? I was like 14, 15 back then.
Yeah.
and we had an RV trip from Spain to Portugal, or the way around. Maybe it was Portugal to no, it was Madrid to Portugal, and basically we arrived in Portugal and we ate at one of those seafood restaurants close to the beach. And I can tell you right now, I ordered the calamari. It was horrible. And the waitress, like, they weren't quite welcoming. We were the only guests there. We ordered, we ate our food. We said, that was really good. I like this food. And then on Swedish, we would just speak utterly bad about the food. We were just like, oh, this is actually horrible. It feels like I'm chewing gum, etc. But the
Yeah.
waitress just stood next to our table and just kept looking at us. So we just had to finish the food out of courtesy because he was there just watching us. Yeah,
Come on.
it was a horrible experience, and I would not recommend that for anybody. So if anyone is listening and traveling to Lisbon anytime soon,
Lisbon, that's where I was as well.
yeah, if you see a seafood restaurant near a caravan park, and the waitress has glasses and is bald, don't go there. It's just bad. Anyways.
If you remembers the Swedish film with the game.
Nofel crosses the line and absolutely annihilates the field once again. He currently has a 116.6 with another set of softs in his garage. And he just improved a 10th on his lap.
3/10 off. Jan's 3/10 off, so that's honestly a pretty good lap from Jan as well. But then still Chris Wiggle 3/10 back from even Jan, so pretty good lap. No feels done there, improved by a 10th, I think.
We actually talked about this before the race as well, that Challenger, as Chris Wiggle has a spin. That will catch you off guard. These cars aren't made for going up and down. These cars are meant to go fast in corners and have high-end top speed, but going up and down with altering aerodynamics, not what the cars are made of. So, yeah, you will experience a lot of loosey-goosey moments, as Seb Vettel once said. And, the races just don't want to be there.
Yeah,
Dixie
going 2/10 off no fail now, so maybe the track's evolving, I'm not sure, but I think that's Chris Wiggle done now. I think I've seen him do 3 laps. Is it 3 sets of softs you get?
No, you have 4, but yeah, you have one set. That one set you ideally want to save because obviously you want to keep that for the race.
Yeah.
So yeah, ideally you do not want to do that, and I'll just engineer for Alpine one too easy. And yeah, hi Daniel, welcome to the stream. Sad to say to you though, that the stream is about 20 seconds too late for the actual race. Unless your drivers can actually stream the race.
Thomas and Cosmonauts to screen share to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I've just checked the chat. There's some rain coming in.
Some rain coming in. Actually, that's a good idea. I don't know why I didn't open. Give me a quick little moment, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna open up team telemetry. That's something I should have thought of before actually launching the game. It's Roy. Oh, hi. Wait. Yeah, hi. Why can't I spectate? You mean being in the lobby and spectate the race? We can explain that to you in a moment's time. Just give me a second. And I'm gonna sort this out. Right, so the reason why you can't spectate is because you will be given unfair advantage to the other drivers on the grid. So if you're actually in the lobby, you have all the information from the other drivers. You got their ERS data, their telemetry data, and you can see their lap times, etc. Whilst, that is very beneficial and realistic to what real life F1 has it. if every single driver, if we had a full grid and every single driver would have engineers, that wouldn't quite work out. We just keep it fair. If you want to engineer them, I can recommend you an app that's called Team Telemetry, which allows you to engineer them, have all that kind of data from a distance. You don't even need to have the game open to read the data. And that's currently the app that I'm using to see the rain and the forecast at the moment.
What is the forecast? The only thing I
Well,
saw about the rain was Lars saying F off, I hate the rain.
qualifying
So-
is going to be completely dry. So 5 to 10
Okay.
minutes, it says 10% of rain, but the icon says it's going to be dry. So that is what I'm basing it off. No rain expected, says Team Telemetry as well. And yeah, the track is just going to ramp up. And as we talk about the ramp up, we're currently on board with who else but Mr. David, aka No Fail No Game.
Yeah, gonna see if he can improve once again. I don't really think it's necessary, but maybe Dixie and Jan have some more that they can do, so better to be safe than sorry, I suppose. But
Yes.
it's pretty. You gotta stay pretty focused on a lap of Portimao, to be honest. If you do one minor mistake, hit a curb, you're gonna go flying. So
Well, No
that's a good
Fail.
focus throughout the whole thing.
No Fail is starting his lap right now. DRS wide open. As he attacks the curbs. He's using my setup, so he needs to give me some of the credits here. As you want to short shift to have the maximum grip. But that costs money. It does not cost money. It's absolutely free. Just create an account and you can download it. As he gets a
this
good
Alpine
exit.
scared
Oh, just a bit shaky on exit there as well. And yeah, that Alpine is really in the way.
Oh fuck.
We'll have to see if he managed to improve at all. That could be a discussion for impeding, depending if No Fail want to pursue that. We'll have to see. He gets a good exit. He's half a second down, according to my Delta.
Yeah,
So
I would
that's
say
him
that
done.
their ear didn't do him very
Yeah.
much help there. Maybe Thomas C just didn't realize he was coming, but definitely should have been told to move out of the way there. Maybe if Roy was in, you would have been able to tell.
Yeah, I had that same kind of experience in Monza last season.
No, you didn't.
What do you mean?
I forgot.
A certain Alpha Tauri punted me in the rear. Well,
Yeah, that could have been Mike. I don't know who the other one was.
I got some facts for you. The highest top speed achieved in qualifying so far is by the Aston Martin. By which Aston Martin, I'm not too sure, but it's 335 kph down the straight.
Wow.
And No Fail is actually 5th in that standing.
So maybe mid downforce is the key then.
Mid downforce should be the key. We're currently on board with Dixie. He is on an outlap and he's gonna go for it. I believe he wants pole. He hasn't had pole for a while. Let's see what he can do. Number 34 or 42, I don't remember. Anyway, he's starting his lap right now.
Oh,
Jan goes
whoa.
pole with a 10th.
Wow, that is quite impressive. And yeah, as I said, Chris Wiggo is done. This is qualifying, but wow, that's a good lap by Jan. It's a shame we didn't see that one.
And
I
Dixie,
didn't say he was going to be fast.
yeah, and Dixie just invalidated his lap. So we're on board with that's Jan who did cross the line. Yeah. Other Red Bull then. Magnetech or Magnetic, depending on how you want to spell that name. Only 200s down. Let's see if he can challenge the top 5 at all. Or if we're going to get another big sandwich. He's out of ERS, but he seems to be pushing.
This track does drain your ERS, but I don't think it drains that much.
I think maybe he forgot to switch it on. No, he has it on. He's just out of ERS. It's under 10%.
Oh.
Let's see. He crosses the line. Number 78 in
No,
the
it's
Red Bull.
definitely not on.
And he goes into the pits. Oh, bit sketchy there. Lars on a lap, sector 3. Let's see what he can do.
He is currently 12 seconds down, I believe.
Yeah, he needs a
Yep,
really
he
good
is,
time.
He is on a 122 so far, but I don't think he's improved.
Yeah, I think he's going to the pits. Yeah.
Yeah, pit lane.
All done.
That's it then.
That's it.
all done. Jan on pole.
Jan and Nofil should be in pro. I'll tell you this right here and now, that there is a complete different story in pro. A completely different story.
I mean, we say this, but I mean, Mivan first race last time got P2. Now everyone was saying he wants to be put into pro, but look where he is now. He's P8. Like no insult to his lap, but
Yeah.
I mean, you can't be put into pro being P8 in Challenger. It's just not right.
Exactamundo, amigo. And that you have the qualifying grid. So Nofil just misses out by 700th of a second. And if I was him, I would be banging my table right now, Total Wolf style, and throwing my headset. No, I wouldn't. Yeah, that's the grid 14 drivers for us today, and we're gonna have some exciting racing coming up in a moment's time. Where do I find this team? You can just search it up, F1 Team Telemetry, and it should come up. I'm having a tutorial lesson while commentating.
Speaking of closing gaps, actually, I had a league race in an American league, and it was on Imola, and I missed out on pole by 1 millisecond.
Oh.
Twice
Yikes.
as well, same league. Twice that happened. Same guy missed out by 1 millisecond.
No bueno.
I still won both races because he was kind of washed in the race, pal.
You heard it here first, folk. He called someone washed.
Therefore, if you're watching, you're washed. I know he actually signed up for Powerful.
Oh,
and there is the rain.
my
That
God.
must be full wets. There's no way it's
That looks like full wets for sure, and you can actually see
pit lane is proving that it's definitely full wet.
yeah, you can see the people in the stands there having umbrellas out and everything.
Yeah, it's full wet. So just check race right there. So sorry Lars, but there is definitely rain.
Are you sure about that? I think it's just a small little, speck of rain. It's fine.
I think the rain in Algarve is pretty aggressive. Like, I actually went to Algarve and it started raining, and it actually hurt my skin. The rain.
It hurt your skin.
Hailstones. I think it might have been hailstones. But it started as rain. But the rain is aggressive, is what I'm gonna say. So they're gonna have a rough time.
Did you rack the wet? Okay, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And we are going racing around Portimao, and Jan gets a good start. Nofil unable to challenge him into turn 1, tucks in behind him as we see Dixie looking down the inside, but that's the AlphaTauri that finds space instead, and Nofil being pushed out wide by the Mercedes, taking it a bit too cautiously. And now Nofil has dropped down to P4, Dixie up to P3, and Mike up to P2, your old teammate. And as we see people scrambling in the back, TC up to P7, and we got Lars dropping down the field. He spun out on the hill upwards, and that's Shark spinning. It doesn't look like TC has any damage, and yeah, Shark unable to do anything in his natural environment. And well, TC up to P7, Marvin is P6, Jersey's P5, but missing a front wing end plate.
Yeah, so I thought at turn 1 I saw a little bit of McLaren front end plate flying off. Don't know how much to see that. But, yeah, he's missing the front left end plate, so he's definitely going to have to box his lap, because in the rain that's just not.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Yeah. Chris Wiggle is actually ghosted. I think he might be AI.
I'm gonna send him another invite if I have him quickly. Let's see here. I have so many people. I think I should have him. But if I have him, it's not online. No, I do not. Okay. Well.
Jan's leading by 1.4 seconds, so he's looking quite comfortable up there.
Oh, as Dixie and Nofil go side by side. Sorry to cut you off right there. And Dixie manages to keep his spot, and Norfell is just being a menace behind him at the moment. And
What locked up there, the rears. Nofeld does not look like he's having a good time. Neither does Dixie though, goes off the road. It's not
it is
turn forward, not very nice.
it is very much expected that there could be a red flag, an in-game red flag here, because on my telemetry it says that it's a storm above Portimao at the moment. There's no feeling.
I'm not surprised. It looks looks very wet. I don't think I've ever seen it be this wet on the game before, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, Dixie manages to keep his place still, but Nofel just wants to get past that Mercedes as soon as possible. He got past Myvan. No, sorry. Nofel has been sticking to his place. That's my bad. Dixie is going defensive into every single corner. And Percy says, wow, much less crashing than I expected. And I gotta agree with that. Jersey currently P10. He hasn't pitted yet. He's losing
a silly
position.
Decision, but I mean,
yeah.
Go far, I suppose. I mean, I think he's probably waiting for safety car.
And there you have it. We're on board with Nofel at the moment, as he needs to lift off in this corner as well. He's gonna go side by side with Dixie again. Nofel is given the inside, and Dixie is on the outside. Does Nofel have enough pace to pass him through? And that looks like the Red Bull is ahead on the Apex, and that is Nofel up to P2. And now is the game of chasing down the Williams, but Dixie finds a way to fight it, and now he's been compromised, and that's Myvan up to P4, and Dixie has dropped down into P5. Not a good day for Mercedes so far.
Maybe me insult his qualifying position because he's made up 4 places already.
Yeah.
So maybe he will be pushing further in the rain. I think that is what happened last time too. It was Inter's conditions, Barcelona, and he managed to push up to the front.
Might be right
maybe
there.
Do the same again.
And Aston Martin is actually having a good race, at least for one of the drivers in P6. Lars is currently 5 seconds adrift in P14, but TC seems to be finding a comfortable little space here in the rain, as he has a gap to Thomas D in the back and has a little gap to Dixie in front, but maybe he managed to catch up, and as I say that, he spins.
Yeah, not exactly ideal.
And he actually lost time there, so I don't think the stewards will look into a penalty there, even though he cut across like 12 acres of grass. But I don't think the stewards will look into that. Like I said, he lost quite a bit of time. He has now from 1 second to 2/10, and that's Thomas D going side by side with him into turn 1. TC plants his car in the middle, but Thomas D manages to get past. But we know that TC got pace, and he goes around the inside of Thomas. It's 2 Alpines versus 1 Aston Martin, and looming there is a shark circling around its prey and finding some something to nibble on. Maybe a mistake, as Thomas D dives down the inside as well, and TC getting pushed wide. They're going side by side yet again, and TC thinks better of it and lets him go, maybe to attack him in the start-finish straight. But man, what a race so far.
Start going very aggressive, dived straight down the inside of Cosmonauts, absolutely smashed into the sidecar. You know, if Cosmonauts went through a 4, that'll probably get a penalty, but Jersey now overtaking Shark. No idea what's going on here. Shark, whoa, what? That's never going to work. I think
Jersey.
Shark seems to be slowing down. I'm not really sure what he's doing.
Yeah, not too sure. Maybe it's not too feel too safe on the rain, but we saw the old switchback on Jersey. A Finn in the McLaren. Let's see if the boy from the US can manage to stick with him. No, he loses traction on exit, but let's on board with TC, and he actually pits.
Jersey time penalty as well now. So
oh, TC has a
really
5-second penalty.
Oh dear.
Oh dear indeed. As you say it, not ideal.
Yeah.
Well, No Phil has been lurking behind Mr. Mike for a bit now. It's quite slidey
Whoa.
there.
Yeah.
And Mike just sending it to the outside and loses the place to Nofel. And Nofel now has 6 seconds to close up to Jan in the Williams.
Flying here just now. He's over as if it's really this gap, he's got over a second pace on them. So yeah, seems to be going well for him.
I think it's just that the people behind him has been battling too much, because we immediately see Nofel closing up by 3/10 of a second. Now under 6 seconds now, 5.9. It looks to be sticking at 6 seconds exactly. As we see the two teammates battling. That's something we haven't seen.
I think Mike went wide there to let him through. But wow, I don't know. Nofel did say he's quite scared to overtake in the rain, even in enters conditions. So I'm not sure what he's going to be thinking now. This is the wettest I've seen it. So
look at Nofel's pace though. 5.8 now. 2/10.
Yeah.
Now 3/10. He's just
Mike
chasing Jan down, and Mike is indeed in the pit lane for a new set of wets and perhaps a new front wing to his AlphaTauri. Let's see. He is pitting now. You see the pit crew there. Let's see if he needs to change wing. It does not look like it. He's changing to intermediates. Interesting. I don't think that's. I think that's too early.
TC also went on Zinders.
I think that's too early.
I agree. It still looks really wet there just now.
Yeah, TC.
Maybe his tires were overheating. That's why. But I still don't think he's gonna have much grip. Yeah, Mike is really struggling. He could barely brake for the corner.
Yeah.
In turn 3, just went completely wide. Nowhere near the apex.
Looks like it. So on board with
with
Cosmonauts and Shark. And Shark finding the inside of Cosmonauts, and Cosmonauts just giving enough space. And Shark seems to be struggling quite a lot here with the grip in the full wets. Let's see if he can pull off any type of move into Sector 3. Man, I hope it doesn't rain. Actually, no, I hope it rains tomorrow. More chance of me overtaking.
This looks like hell. Oh, Shark touched the back of Cosmonauts there.
You know how Sharks has a...
You know about this.
Yeah, you know that great white sharks usually have a nibble on their prey before actually eating it whole. Just to see if it's edible, yeah?
Maybe that's what he's doing now. Maybe he's going to dump his whole battery into turn 1.
It looks like it. And now Shark wants the inside. Cosmonauts gives him the inside as well. They're going side by side into turn 1, and Shark swipes across him to get the racing line, which, you know, you are allowed to do, but maybe that's a bit too early for Cosmonauts' liking, and FIA might take a look into that.
You are allowed to do it, but I mean, that was just a bit unfair, really. You could have waited a little bit more, but already catching up to his teammate Thomas D. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whoa, Thomas braking so early there.
Thomas just not comfortable in the wet weather at the moment. And this has been unable to challenge Myvan and Nofel from 6 seconds. Look at the gap now. It's like you have Max Verstappen behind you.
Whoa. Thomas D moved out of the way for one shot there, so...
Well, that's...
wise decision, probably.
That's Lars spinning, having a bit of a spin. He's still on the wet tire.
He's actually still gaining on Mike, though, so...
Yeah.
I would say he's still on the right tire.
And Jersey a bit in no man's land currently. TC has a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings.
That brings him up to 8 seconds now.
Yeah, I just given the
Still
worst curse of them
Jersey
all.
did not pit. That is really just not the right decision. I mean, he was quick, but now he's not because he's missing front end plate.
So now Dixie has been closing up to the AlphaTauri ahead of him. It's 4/10 between them now. And let's see if Dixie able to get a move done into the 4th corner of the track as he locks up. Myvan goes deep. They're side by side now, but Myvan gets better exit out of the corner. Dixie unable to do anything for the moment, but we'll see if he can launch an attack in the upcoming corners. But man, the rain just looks worse.
There is only one person on the grid under 50% ERS. I was hearing that the ERS is going to be a problem, that they're not regaining it enough, but I think the rain seems to be counteracting that because, I mean, yeah, there's only one who's under 50%, that's Cosmonauts, and he's 1% under. So everyone's got a lot of ERS, no one really wanting to use it. I mean, Jan's got 95 left still.
Yeah.
Obviously, not pushing too hard. Even No-Fail trying to catch up, still got 70%. So.
I mean, you do need traction to enable ERS. Did I just see a Red Bull spin? No, I didn't. That's just my bad.
So.
Yeah, Dixie, anyways, now has closing the gap to Myvan. And Myvan is gonna stick to the racing line, doesn't really make a fuss out of it. Dixie, is he close enough to challenge? Oh, it's close, but Myvan just ahead. And Dixie gives that one up, but Dixie dives it down the inside, they touch.
Oh.
Given just enough space, and that's Mike spinning again in the back.
On Myvan.
3-second penalty. So Dixie is in the podium position. He doesn't need to overtake, but ideally he still wants to overtake him to catch up to No-Fail. And as I say that, Myvan goes deep once again, and Dixie is looking to pounce side by side now. As he just given enough space.
Ran out of road there. Would have got a track limit penalty, but I think Myvan gave him enough space to keep it on the track there.
Absolutely. And Rasmussen, I'd be happy to answer that question, but after the session. It's a bit too late to set it up now. It takes some time. But yeah, Dixie currently still by Myvan, and yeah, loose rear end and everything. And No-Fail has been dropping some time to Jan actually.
Yeah, I believe Jan started dumping his ERS. He's using on the straight at the moment. I just don't think he really wants to let David get anywhere near him because, well, you want to keep that first place for as long as you can.
Yeah, like Will Buxton said it. You want to start on pole because that means that you have the other 19 drivers behind you.
Yeah.
Gamma B says it's intermediate condition. From his expertise and years of driving, he says it's intermediate condition. My team telemetry says that there is still a storm brewing, but in the next 5 minutes though, it could be very much intermediate condition. And
Mike is now gaining on Unstoppable, who is on wets. It seems to be pretty equal, but he is gaining a little.
In 15 minutes time, we can start expecting dries. According to my telemetry.
That is quite interesting. Something that looks quite well out there. It's nearly enters, but not even.
Yeah. I mean, it's still raining quite heavily in my screen. And team telemetry agrees.
It's definitely still raining. For sure.
Yeah. And No-Fail has been reeling in Jan from a distance. He can actually see the car now, and yeah, No-Fail has been fighting for wins, but never gotten a win in Power F1. And he is now 3 seconds away from overtaking the guy who's currently in first place. But like the saying goes, there's one thing to catch up to the car ahead, there's another thing to overtake them.
Yeah, I don't think Jan's really going to want to give that up too easily. I think he'll want to just, as I said, keep it for as long as he can. And with No-Fail being not confident to overtake, I'm not sure this could be a good battle.
Yeah.
Jan does need to start using his ERS though. He's got 78 while No-Fail's got 38. I think if he wants him to stay away, he's definitely going to need to start using it.
And that's a Mercedes off. That is Shark losing a lot of time to the cars behind now, and now Thomas D, the whole pack is behind him now again.
Yeah.
Yeah, not something that you'd like to see. And Dix has been dropping off as well.
Yeah, Mivan really started pulling away from Dixie there, but I think he's still quite close to being in that penalty zone, so if Dixie can just catch up a tiny bit, it should be alright to get that position.
Yeah, no Phil now 1.7, and it is the charging bull against the Williams. And we have to see who is going to end up on top. And of course, there's been no safety cars as of yet. Lap 11, quite surprising.
Wow. There is just no grip in that last corner.
Yeah,
Both
I
Jan
saw
and
that.
No Fail had some massive oversteer.
But look
No
at the
Fail
time.
down to 6% ERS, while Jan is still on 70. The gap is 1.4, but with that ERS difference, if Jan just keeps dumping on the straight, there's no way they was anywhere close.
We'll have to see. Nofel just need to catch up enough to start putting pressure on him. And I do believe that Jan is under pressure. Because, yeah, Nofel is just being absolutely rapid. He's being Max Verstappen here to the rest of the grid. FIA, short cosmonaut incident noted, says Katar Sophias. Lap 6. Alright then. Thomas D. Oh! Look at this. Unstoppable giving absolutely no space to Thomas D. But then compromises his own exit. And now they go side by side. And is Unstoppable going to try to dive it down the inside? Which in my books would be a bit immature. Oh, he doesn't. But Thomas D. No assist as well. Locks his rears and spins into the corner. But still manages to keep it on the right way.
In my opinion, it's turn 5. It's Gamma Beaver, obviously. That did, in fact, look sendable.
That looks sendable. I think
To be
I've
honest,
heard.
I would have tried to go for a move again there, but I guess it's better that you thought better of it.
I've heard it's sendable from a certain Gamma B in the comment section currently. And look at Nofel and Jan actually. Nofel now side by side with Jan, going into the first corner, and Jan absolutely burning his ERS. And Nofel ahead. Oh, they go side by side still. Nofel is giving him the inside. And now Nofel is leading. But on top of that, it is intermediate conditions in my books.
Yeah, I would say now this is definitely it. Everyone seems to be struggling as Cosmonauts and Jersey is in the pits.
Cosmonauts in the pits now.
Yep, Jersey going to Inters.
Jersey went Inters.
I'm seeing the Cosmonauts.
Yeah, and Jersey needs to switch the wing as well. Let's see who's ahead, and it is Cosmonauts. So Jersey has a lot of work after having his debut win to catch up to the rest of the grid. But if the intermediates is working, that could be the difference of 2-3 seconds a lap. Lars sets the fastest lap. It's time.
Shows it. I think if Nofel and Jan stay out now, I think they've made the wrong decision for sure.
It is time, ladies and gentlemen, and it's time for the intermediate condition. And now my telemetry says to me that within 10 minutes there is a chance of dry running.
It looks to be hardly raining anymore, I think. Considering how fast that truck dried up after it stopped raining.
Let's see. Intermediates. Intermediates for Mr. Nofel, and Jan goes into the pits as well. And I do believe it's for the intermediate tires. Myven follows them in. Dixie stays out.
Dixie stayed out. That, I would say it's a risk, but I think it's just the wrong decision, to be honest.
It is a risk, but if a safety car comes out now, he's in the golden.
That is true.
So Nofel exits the pits now, and I believe he's on intermediates. On my telemetry, it says Inters for all the cars that just entered.
Magnetic
looks
stayed
like
out
it.
too on the wets. Everybody else has gone to Inters already.
It's time, ladies and gentlemen, and yeah, it's hardly raining, like you said.
Yeah.
And Nofel being 14 seconds adrift from Dixie, and let's see if Dixie is gonna pit as well. Myven has a 3-second penalty on top of the penalty he already has.
Unstoppable's just pitted for wets.
Interesting.
Might be a little bit of a mistake.
I don't see heavy rain coming up on the radar for the moment. It says light rain for the time being.
Oh, Cosmonauts and Thomas D and Lars banging wheels there into turn 2. Oh, that was way too late from Thomas D defending there. That was pretty questionable. I think if we don't see Lars complaining about that after, I'll be quite shocked. I mean, I think most people would complain about that, if I'm being quite honest. That was just...
What a move. I just saw Cosmonaut going around the outside of TC. Around the outside ain't that easy around Portimao, and TC being compromised again, and Jersey has a lot of pace in him. Goes for the inside. TC gives him the space and showing him rolling out the red carpet for Jersey really, but that is a bit questionable, but I think it's just fair because it looked like TC was understeering into Jersey, and now TC dropped down to P10, but he is in the points. That's the important part. Magnatech now in the pits now for intermediates, and Cosmonaut sets the purple lap of 128.8.
Very good.
Very good indeed. Yeah, we see TC now hunting down the... No, that's Lars hunting down Thomas D. And now Magnatech rejoins the race in P13.
Cosmonauts went fastest there by around 2 seconds. So, yeah, he was he was 3 seconds, just under 3 seconds faster than No Fail that lap.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane.
So everyone is on intermediates from what I know. Let's see here. Everyone except for Unstoppable is on intermediates, and it seems like Unstoppable is actually suffering quite a lot from that choice, losing a 10th a corner. And there you go. No fail, 126.4.
Very good.
As if it was a question of if he's gonna get it or not. It was just a matter of time. No fail already gapped Jan behind him, 1.5 now between them. And then they got penalties behind them, so they're not really worried about losing out to the podium positions here. But matter of who's getting the win is really up in the air. Who knows? Malraider says within 15 minutes now, there is a 50% chance of dry running. And
I think it will be more than 50%. It's not looking too wet there.
Yeah, and by my calculations, that towards the end of the race. So who wants to stay out? Who wants to go in? That's the big question towards the end of the race.
Unstoppable clearly didn't want to stay out on those wets, so he's coming to the pit lane and he's taking 5 seconds for it. Yeah, changes to the inners now. I think that must have been just a mistake.
Yeah.
Or a glitch with the game that I've had quite a few times in F122, but I've never seen it in F123.
TC now up to P9. And Chris Wiggle, his AI drops down to P10. No DNF so far, which must be a record in Challenger Series.
I would say so, yeah.
In the rainy conditions as well.
I don't think when we were in Challenger we had any race where there was no DNFs.
Especially after the first 5 laps. That was almost a guarantee that that's going to happen. That's why I always start on the harder tire. Oops, I spilled
paid
out
the price for starting on mediums in Abu Dhabi that last race.
Oh, we can replay that race if you want to after.
No, you don't need to. So.
Anyways, Nofel has built a bigger gap now, and the closest battle we have on track is currently Jersey in P8, now fighting Cosmonauts for P7.
Yeah, I just saw that in turn 1, Jersey tried to go down the inside, but did not really work out. Jersey's got 3 seconds more of time penalties than Cosmonauts does, so he wants to get past him and build that gap. He needs to do it.
Kata says maybe Unstoppable misclicked into wets. That's a possibility, or it's EA.
EA busted game, but
yeah.
I don't know.
Anywho, let's see. Jersey now closer than ever. The Cosmonauts, and ideally he wants that position and gap him by 3 seconds, so he can keep the position as well because he has a 6-second penalty. No foul, no game. 125.8.
Yeah, the gap's is definitely going
We should just.
down.
He's
Yep,
just the new
DRS
Max
enabled.
Verstappen. DRS enabled.
I know it's getting drier, but surely not DRS enabled. I mean, it's still raining.
Apparently it is. Now it says 10 minutes until the rain
And
stops.
Jersey is in the pit lane.
There's no shot that he's gonna switch to dries now. It's
I
still
mean,
raining.
He must be. What would you go on to? Mediums? I don't even know what this
There is no
I mean-
shot that he's trying to do it. There is absolutely.
Yeah,
if
but I swear that's mediums.
big
He's putting
cojones.
mediums
He's
on.
putting
Oh my God.
mediums. Jersey,
Okay.
first one into the dry tire compound because I think he believes that it's time for dry because the DRS opened up again, but I don't.
No,
it's
there's
too
not.
wet.
TC is serving a 5-second penalty and putting mediums. Alright, we need to follow these two, see how they get on, because
Yeah.
I'm not sure about this.
Yeah, Jersey looks slow. Yeah, there is no shot that it was.
There
time.
is 4 people on the mediums. Jersey, TC, Magdadek, and Morris. Unstoppable has just passed 2 of them.
Actually, Jersey's closing
this,
the gap
this
to
is a brilliant
Thomas.
comparison. This is a brilliant comparison.
Jersey's
Unstoppable
actually
in between all the mediums.
Jersey is closing the gap to Thomas.
Yeah, he is. Ever so slightly.
Ever so
And
slight.
there is people boxing for dries at the front.
Yeah, No Phil is the one who does it
Yeah, I'm
as well.
putting hards. That is definitely a mistake.
Mediums can definitely go to the end until now. Jersey
Yeah,
still
I
has
think he
cold
has just
tires.
fumbled.
It cost him
Mm.
5 seconds
Oh.
for speeding into the pit lane. It looks drier, but oh god, that's very
It's-
difficult.
To me, that still looks like Inters, but I suppose we
Yeah.
are not the ones driving.
Yeah,
And Cosmonauts has just put soft tires on. That is really dodgy. I'm not sure about that.
I
Still
mean,
some people on the Inters. No, Chris Wiggles in the pit lane. Thomas D's in the pit lane. Everyone is going to be on dries if Unstoppable hits his line.
as we see Mike going for the inside of Mr. Shark and gives no space to Shark. And Shark was around the inside, didn't have enough grip to really commit to that move. As we see Shark diving down the inside now again. Oh, they touch. But that was fair in my books. In my books, that was fair.
I agree. And yeah, Unstoppable's pitted. So everyone is on dries. It's curious, there's 2 people on the softs, and it's the 2 Alpines. I'm not really sure about the strategy. Yeah, Unstoppable serving a penalty and then going on to mediums. I think medium is just the way. I think there's 3 people that have quite messed up their strategy.
Yeah. I know a perfect tire that would fit into this. The slicker mediates or interslicks, depending on how you
Yeah.
want to say it.
Yeah, if they started on Inters and it was like real life, they maybe could get going, but no, I think
Interslicks.
it was best to box for mediums. I'm not sure what I was thinking. No Phil's built the gap up now.
Mike has DRS now. Sharks protects the inside, but not enough. And no fail. Mike, sorry, decides to protect the inside again. Shark being sent to the outside there and looking for a move. There's another DRS coming right now. There it is. Shark has DRS. Let's see if he's going for the move, and he goes for the move again.
Wow.
And they touch. But not enough grip on the inside. We had a league race there once where it rained the whole race, but it was dry tires. It's Portimao thing. Alright, just expect that for tomorrow, Rocco.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yep. So there's currently 13 laps to go as one
Whoa.
Shark goes for the inside again. These two are absolutely having a battle.
Yeah. No Phil, fastest lap, 23 flat. Pretty sure that's a good benchmark for medium run.
Yeah. Let's see. Jan did switch to hards,
Oh.
but he will have the advantage towards the end, Jan. And let's see now. Shark again, round 2. Round 3 at this point.
Yeah, round 3 really trying
Yeah.
to break the toe there, but giving up on that thought.
Shark goes around the inside. Oh. Yes,
Honestly,
not
it's
side by
pretty good
side.
defending that we've seen from Mike here just now.
Yeah.
Protected the outside line there, which is
Jan,
fast.
3-second penalty.
And
That
Jan, 3
ruined
seconds.
it for him.
I think if David keeps this completely clean, I think that's Jan's race, or chance for the race win. Over.
Let's see here. I'm just can't get my eyes off the Shark Mike battle at the moment. Oh.
Oversteer there for one Shark, but he's
No.
getting close to the Alpha Tower, but just can't do it.
He just wagged his tail, that's all.
Yeah.
It takes this as
And
when
no
he
fill
let
goes
game
faster
into.
than the soft runners. That is interesting.
I mean, that is a statement to put out, if I've ever seen
Yeah.
one. Shark is so close to him. It's incredible.
Oh, there goes Mike off the track.
And that's not allowed. He just wants DRS, that's why. But that was also in
Yeah.
a very dangerous position to give out, to slow down like that. And Katas is actually in the chat right now.
Whoa! This could be bad.
Oh no, Mike. Come on, man.
No, he didn't do that on purpose. He got oversteer, sorry, and
Yeah.
he just couldn't get it stopped on the grass.
I mean, give him a common decency to not fight for the position for at least a lap and then go again. But no, Cosmonauts
Yeah, I
is
mean-
now hunting it down.
I think they both got quite a bit of damage. I mean, Cosmonauts has caught them up.
Shark doesn't look to
Wow,
have damage.
Well, that is quite something because Shark just absolutely rammed into the sideboard of
Yeah,
Mike.
doesn't look like it for the moment.
No, doesn't look like it at all.
Yeah.
Quite interesting, actually.
As he immediately called my name. Hi, Katas. But yeah, Mike seems to be back at it, whatever at it is. But yeah, Shark has the position up and built a gap of half a second to him. But I believe Shark is gonna report that anyway. So, and Mike seems
I
to
don't
be
think
fighting
there's
down.
I don't think there's much to report.
I mean,
be
the
quite
slowing
honest.
down in the DRS
Oh.
zone is one.
Okay. This is
No,
not looking very. Now this is not looking very nice.
no, it's elbows out for both the drivers at the moment, as none of them are willing to give an inch.
This is gonna be bad. I can just tell.
Yeah, and Cosmonauts managed to do a double overtake. And if I were any of them, I would just stay behind, save up my ERS, and then pounce, and then be gone.
I mean, some of these times you just gotta sit back because, I mean, I know Cosmonauts got through, but if I was Cosmonauts, I would have sat behind because the way these two are going, I think it looks like they're gonna take each other out.
Yeah.
Mike is flashing, so got no ERS left. Goodness me, this is just.
And Jersas manages to caught up as well as Shark goes for the move. And he goes deep as well. But makes the move done. I mean, it's still fairly clean.
It's looking clean. They've both had their moments. But
Shark
Oh,
gets a
there you go.
penalty. And that's
Shark
not
gets a
something he wants to have. And maybe because he was pushed out once or twice, maybe he gets that removed. And let's see. Oh.
Jeez, this is it's not really what you want to see, I suppose, but maybe Shark just losing his
Rear
losing his head
defending,
with
yeah.
Mike.
Oh. Yeah, it looks like it. As there goes an end plate. And there goes Jersey. They're losing position more than they're gaining
just
anything. Yeah.
Just getting ridiculous now. I mean, you've just got to give it up, boys. I don't
Yeah.
understand this. I mean, Shark just barging his way through. I don't understand this really, but
Mike goes
While
for the
that's happening,
switchback, but there
no
is
fails pulled off 8 seconds in the front.
yeah, no fails.
Whoa!
I missed what happened there.
Yeah, me too.
I just saw Shark spinning. Was that on his own or?
I saw a contact, but I did not see if it was anyone's fault. I just saw the AlphaTauri, like, I don't know, they just hit. That's all I can really say. I didn't really see much else.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I think
Tixie.
Shark will tell us.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
On a previous note, Tixie. Okay, well, that's something he wrote personally to Tixie. Well, so Mike has P7, but he has damage. Is he gonna pit? He stays
He
out.
must pit. Oh goodness.
Shark doesn't have any damage, so he's gonna catch up eventually. Keep
See
a
what I mean
cool
about
head.
the time penalties, though. I mean, 3 seconds, 6 seconds, 8 seconds. Yeah. I mean, so the people who have got no penalties, I applaud you for that because it's a tough task to not get penalties. Really.
Yeah, no, I know. Just to keep it between the white lines as much as I possibly can tomorrow.
Yep. Funny thing about this is, I was expecting to get a little bit of an idea of strategy, but I mean, this has just been all over the place. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No rain expected until 30 minutes from now, but at that point the race is already over. So no need to think about it. It's mediums all the way to the end.
Yeah, I just don't really understand that call for hards by Jan, but
yeah,
maybe he was thinking something else. I'm not sure, but not the right call.
that is it. Unstoppable, a 3-second penalty, but that won't matter much to him because he's 34 seconds adrift.
You're gonna have to give me a second. I really need to mute the audio because it's hurting my ears. It's cutting out all over the place. Can barely hear you.
Well, Chris Wiggle just made a move on Mike because he needed to pit. And well, it is his AI, so it doesn't count for anything. So practically everyone will be promoted one place up because Chris Wiggle did not, in fact, participate in this race.
Yeah.
So that means TC is currently P8, Lars is P11, Magnetic is P10, and Thomas is P9.
Yeah.
As he sets a fastest lap now.
Again, this is reminding me of Persegili, always pulling fastest laps out of nowhere. And he's going faster again in the first sector. He was just half of a half temp up there.
AI P7GG. As Dixie says, no to that, as he pulls a faster lap than no fail.
I think what's happening is it must be completely dry now.
Yeah, it's just becoming better and better.
And
Despite
Dixie's
the
currently
tire
in the
age.
podium position with the penalty of Megan. 6 seconds.
Yeah, you just need to be within those 3 seconds. Our closest battle right now is Jersey versus Cosmonauts. McLaren versus Alpine. We've seen that before. Jersey is seeing the red flashlight of Cosmonaut blinking. And
Yeah, Cosmonauts needs to pull 2 seconds if he wants this position because he has 2 more seconds of time penalties than Jersey.
Yep. As Magnetic goes for a move on Thomas D. Let's see here. We'll be on board between Jersey and Cosmonauts.
Bit of contact there.
And there you have it.
No
No
damage
fail
done.
again.
Yeah. Just trading fastest laps, though, it seems like.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. There's not really enough time to catch up now. But...
Yeah.
Yeah, Dixie was 2/10 slower that lap, so. I
It's
think that's the end of it.
Magnetic versus Thomas D, and I think this is where the streak ends for Mr. Thomas D. There is no podium for you. Well, he didn't get one in Baku, did he? Or what was the last? No, Spain. He didn't get one in Spain.
No.
Yeah, so, yeah. No more Mr. Consistency by Thomas D.
I think Nofel was up in the first sector again, so still trying to take that fastest lap back from Jan, get as much points as he can. Yeah, he's 1.43 tenths up. So
I think we need to see Nova reserve a race for Pro Series at some point.
yeah, I was gonna suggest that.
Chat GPT driver of the day says Catastrophias. The AI has been doing well.
Oh.
P7. Mike now with the
Mike
fastest.
119.3.
On the soft though.
Nofel's gonna beat that on the. No, absolutely nowhere near 1.3 seconds.
Well, Jersey has been closing in 1/10 closer than the lap before and within the RS now. 2/10 now. And we'll see if he has the ERS, the awareness, and the racecraft to overtake Cosmonauts. Cosmonaut has been a very clean driver as long as he's been here in Power F1. I had a little battle with him in Silverstone when I won my championship, my first championship. Was good fun. Didn't have anything to fight for though because, well, my rival was way back. Didn't need to do that.
Ooh.
And now they go side by side. Jersey ahead on the apex and ahead on the corner. As Cosmonaut is looking to fight this one back, going side by side once again, and Jersey given enough space there. But now he has a compromised exit, and now Cosmonaut has DRS on him as well. Going side by side, Jersey opts to go to the outside and have the better exit as well, because that's what the outside gives you, but it compromises your run for a little bit. They go side by side again, and Jersey needs to stick behind him. Oh, a bit of a break. Early braking there for Cosmonauts. He's still
Cosmonauts is
flashing.
flashing though.
Yeah, no way.
Jersey only 14%, but yeah.
We got 3 laps
Cosmonauts
to
is
go.
really just floating on that flashing line. 11, 13 now, so yeah, he's just floating in between the zone for the flashing, which is at 10%.
Although, if Jersey gets one more penalty, he needs to gap him by a second. So here we go. Round 2. DRS wide open for the McLaren driver. And Cosmonaut doesn't defend this. Jersey try to put pressure on him. He's not going to fall for that. Now into the second DRS on as well. Let's see if Jersey can get close enough to challenge him into that corner. And I think, to be honest, it's way better to overtake around this corner due to the rest of the sector being corners as well. So it gives you more chance to make a gap rather than the start-finish straight.
I think it's just easier in general to make a move in that corner. I mean, just because the nature of the first corner is really fast. Even going by yourself, you try and go as wide as you can, which you can't do if you're trying to take the inside line to overtake. So
Yeah.
I don't know, it's a bit of a sketchy corner to overtake turn 1, but I think the one after the second DRS zone is my favourite place to try and overtake here.
Tix is saying 0 DNFs. Yeah, I'm as surprised as you are. As Dixie made a move on my event, but he's flashing himself now. Well, a Mercedes on the podium. We haven't seen that in a while in Challenger. Sadly, we see that too often in Pro Series.
First, Achilles, slow down.
Yeah, gonna have to fucking... Whoops. I need to stab your tires.
You need to just stop being so fast.
You can race in an F2 car. But yeah.
Jersey is saving up some ERS here. He's got 30%. I think he's saving it for what I would assume would be the last lap to try and overtake in the second DRS. So.
Yeah.
But
He doesn't
Cosmonauts
even
is still
need to do
floating
that, to be
around
honest, though.
Yeah, he's just floating around the zone where he's just barely not flashing. Now he's already on 10%, 9%. Seems to be not gaining much back at all.
I think by now he knows what Jersey's plan is and trying to save himself. Is that gonna be enough though? That's the big question.
With this much ARS, He tries to overtake on the first corner. I don't think it'll be enough for Cosmos, even if he saves.
Yeah.
Let's just see what he'll do this lap.
So now we're in the 32nd lap. And No Phil about to lap Lars as well in sector 2.
Yeah, it's not been the ideal race for Lars, but I mean, he is still in front of Magnatech and Unstoppable, who is I don't want to be telling, but he is absolutely miles behind.
Yeah.
A minute behind even Magnatech, but No Phil's had a really good race, 15 seconds ahead. Pretty dominant performance. Even with Jan's 3 seconds. So, I mean, Dixie's getting close to that 3 seconds of Jan. It's not like 6/10 off only.
Well, we see a move here for Mike on Thomas, and Mike now up to technically P9 since Chris Wiggle is not racing. And Thomas is in P10, so that's 1 point for him. But now we're on the final lap, and I think we need to be on board with Mr. No Phil, number 12. You can see it on his helmet right there as well. Number 12 hasn't really done anything wrong in this race. Stole my setup and then decided, yeah, you know what, it's good enough. As he rounds the final corner for sector 2. And I don't know, I just have nothing but good to say about this guy. Doesn't get into a lot of controversies or any controversies at all. Just does everything right by the book. And he's now 14 seconds ahead of Jan in the Williams, who led 6 seconds during the rain, might I add. And now, as he finishes off this race, rounding the final corner, I think we can say a job very well done for Mr. No Phil. First time ever winning in Power F1. It's the Red Bull driver that wins in Portimao. Yeah,
Definitely deserved. I mean, I'm honestly so happy for him. Just, you know,
first win ever.
For quite some time. Yeah, I mean, longer than me. You know, and first win, even with still 50% ERS, 17 seconds lead after Jan's penalty.
Absolutely dominant race by Mr. No Phil. He must have been bored at the front there as well. But there's nothing bad that I can say about No Phil. He's been unlucky for the first couple of rounds as well. Missed out on the first round because he was on vacation in Japan. He returns, put the practice in, put the time trials lap in. He explained to us in the VC before we even discussed before we streamed, that he put in 100 laps in practice for this race.
Yeah, 100 laps insane. That really could never be me. I mean,
no, I wake up 5 minutes before the race.
I did for some races. I mean, Imola, I fell asleep during qualifying. Did not practice before that. I don't know what else. Baku. That's like probably the most practice I've ever done for any race, and it's like a 25%.
Thomas D gets driver of the day, and everyone below Chris Wiggle will be promoted one place up, since Chris Wiggle did not indeed race. But yeah, that's it. Mr. No Phil, no game. Absolutely annihilated the field today. Didn't do anything wrong. It wasn't up to luck this time. He says, I write my own history. The luck is in my hands. And indeed, when he doesn't get into a crash, get spun out, the luck is indeed by his own making. And yeah, no final game, P1.
Yeah, I'm just happy for him. That's all I got to say. Pretty long race though, 59 minutes with the rain.
Yeah.
Not too bad, but it's reasonably long one for 50%.
I think you need to make an announcement that only top 3 is gonna do interviews because I'm
Yeah.
knackered. Anyways, that's the grid for you. And Jersey manages to get past Cosmonauts in the end because of penalties. So Jersey up to P5. And TC in the points. Very well done by him. Lars stays in P12 again. One Shark gets P9 because Chris Wiggle is ahead of it. Unstoppable. P14, not a great race for him. But yeah, there I have it, ladies and gentlemen. No safety car as well. Yeah, that's the first time ever that there's been no safety car.
Well, there was none in Bahrain. That was
No,
different story.
there was none in Bahrain for Pro
Per
Series.
pro, sorry, per pro. Yeah.
Exactly. And there, ladies and gentlemen, you have the race, and we're gonna move on to the interviews quickly for the top three only, because I'm tired and I'm hungry, and all of the above.
Let's get David in first.
Yeah, we are in the staff channel, so we need to move to com channel quickly.
Oops.
Yeah, so see you there. All right. So just wait on Rocco to return to me, cause yeah.
Would you like me to move him in, or what do you do?
No, I can move him in. I can move him in for sure. I almost banned him.
Yeah, that's why I didn't move him straight away, because I nearly clicked ban.
For the first time ever, crossing the line, you were the first car on track to cross the line. And yeah, overall, great performance. Absolutely dominant. 14 seconds after falling down to P4 and managed to gain that all back. And now you got your first win ever here at Power F1. How does it feel?
I am missing the words. I don't know what I should say right now. I'm just like super happy because I was like, God damn it, I failed the start. Whatever, I will just keep it clean for the first 5 corners because there's too much going on. So I try to not block or hit anyone, which probably worked out perfectly fine. And mid-race, when the rain was going to stop, right before I was going to the Inters, Jeff told me, hey, you have wing damage. And I was like, what? Wing damage? Seriously, I did not feel that at all. So I, like on reflex, I put wing damage repair off because I was sure I will lose time. So, and I was just rethinking again. Wait a minute. Directly at the beginning, I had a slight touch with someone. And that
and who's
must
that?
be the... I think it was with Dixie, just right at the beginning. Wait, am I still in? Oh, I cannot look up the race director, sadly. But I think it was with Dixie on the front wing, and that gave me the invisible damage.
But even with damage, you just Max Verstappen did. Yes.
Kind of. I don't know how I did that. Seriously.
I mean, I can tell you why. 100 laps of practice does do something in the race. You know, it's
But
just
not
not a
in the
number.
rain.
Yeah, but still, it was good enough for the race win, and yeah, we all saw that. I mean, you did great, and yeah, nothing wrong with your race at all except for the start, but you managed to regain that quickly before the dry stint as well, which would have been harder to keep, of course, with the DRS.
Yeah.
But
When
yeah,
I saw it, like it was still slightly raining, I was like, huh? I look at the time, I was like only 2 seconds,
yeah.
2 to 3. So it meant push now.
Exactamundo. And you absolutely managed to do that as well. Well, you got your first win. It's a good feeling, right?
It's a beautiful feeling. Like, I have so many podiums so far, but never win because of some circumstances. For example, the game crashing, which crashed the server.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now I finally managed without any problems. I'm so happy.
No, you should be. That was a stellar performance by you. And yeah, hopefully more wins coming your way. Well, congratulations first of all, as well, on a personal note. I know you've been working
Thank you.
hard for every single race, so seeing you succeed like this, very nicely done. Can't wait to race you.
Hell yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for joining the commentary box, and see you next week.
See you next week.
Right.
Should I drag Dix in?
Yeah. Also send out an announcement that only top 3 is getting interviewed.
I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, drag Dix in.
Cool.
Oh. Hello there.
Alright.
Well, you must be in a better mood today than you were in Spain and Baku.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, another podium. You did look a bit loosey goosey there in the rain, a bit shaky on the exits and all.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I think, going into I think it was turn 1.
Yeah.
I was in between the Red Bull and the Haas, so it was really hard not to get damage in that situation. So I'm so glad I didn't. But I know me and the Red Bull started fighting for a bit, and that was all fun in the rain. But I just knew he had more pace than me, so I thought, I don't know, I just let him go. Probably affected my race in that sense. And then I mean I enjoyed the race. The second stint was obviously better. I am obviously better in the dry, but so it's probably something I have to work on.
Yeah, I saw that.
Driving in the red.
I remember the last time you drove in the rain. Didn't really go well for you.
No, absolutely not. Well, I literally saw that it was going to be a wet race again today, and then I thought, you know what, I might just chalk it up. I might have to chalk the season up.
It's a wrap.
Yeah.
No, but you managed well. You got a podium. P3 though, Jan and Nofel was in a different league of their own, and Nofel being a step above that league that Jan was on. But obviously, you're the best of the rest. P3 down the line. Good points from Mercedes after Shark had a bit of a shaky race as well.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
all in all, very good. You're winning the teammate battle so far, and I don't think Shark is too happy about that as well. But it's a team's game, F1. Yeah,
Well,
so
that's true.
at the end of the day, you want to beat your teammate, of course, but like constructors is where it's at.
Absolutely. No, I mean, it was definitely good points today. I know that we've been struggling, in Spain. Bit of a malfunction in my brain. And then obviously Baku. You know what? I'm going to have to start pitting that on the normal lap. So even today, it was like, pit to Inters. And I thought, you know what? It's not ready for Inters. I get halfway around the chat. I'm thinking, yeah, shit, it's ready for Inters. Like, I think I lost about 4 or 5 seconds to, is it Marvin?
Yeah,
So
I think so too.
So yeah, it was a hard, dry stint, but I enjoyed the dry when it was dry. I like this track when it's dry. When it's wet, it's horrible. I can't drive it.
But you still managed to have a good pace in the rain, though, despite all that. You had a few good battles as well. And yeah, you just came on top. Yeah, you're back on the podium as well. Next race is your home race. It's Silverstone.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to lock in for that one.
You're gonna have to perform a bit.
I think it was nice today. Everyone was driving clean, no safety cars.
Clean is
Clean is not the right word.
yeah, but not when it comes to you though. You were clean. Don't worry about that.
Okay. Well, nobody was around me, so
Yeah.
it was a win. But no, I mean, the last couple of races have just all been safety cars, like for the first 8 or something laps, so it's just been alright stroll.
Here's the thing. Here's my theory. We used up all our safety cars on the first rounds, and now there was no safety cars at all.
Oh yeah. I think a few safety cars were needed today, but
yeah, maybe to spice things up. But
Yeah.
there was quite a lot of battles. We enjoyed watching all of
absolutely.
them. Yeah, Silverstone is next week, and both you and me know that Silverstone is prone to rain as well, so you might have to put some wet weather running as well. I mean, you live in the UK, so you would know.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. I'm gonna have to find a wet setup. I think that's the new thing.
You want to know a fun fact, by the way?
Go on, hit me.
You were the fastest car in the speed trap by 10 kph or something like that, along those
10
lines.
Did
kph.
I think so. I'm looking at the
What?
speed trap. I looked at the speed trap, and maybe it was like 10, 8 or 7, something along those lines.
What?
Yeah.
How much wings were people running? That's
Uh,
I don't know.
more than you,
Yeah, clearly.
apparently. It's either you and Shark, but that time, that speed trap time that was clocked in, was after you
Wow.
crossed the line. So, I think it
And
was you.
I know me and No Fail just kept on going back and forth with fastest laps.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like I would get one, he'd get one, I'd get one, he'd get one. So,
Yeah, well, you had a good race, and hopefully you can carry that over to Silverstone. Rocco, you got any more questions?
no, nothing.
Well,
I'm only listening.
Sorry?
cheers, boys.
I'm just listening.
Okay, yeah. See ya. Bye-bye, Dixie. Have a good one.
Alright, you
Bye-bye.
too.
Alright, with that, ladies and gentlemen, it's a wrap for me and Rocco. I think me and Rocco will have some calamari in not a seafood restaurant that is next to a caravan park. I've learned my lesson today, but me and Rocco will be heading out for some calamari in another restaurant, and hopefully we have better service than I had back in, what now? 2015, 14. Oh god, that's a long time ago.
Bruh,
I just
I
made
was like
myself
7.
feel old. Don't say stuff like that, man. You're making me feel old as fuck. Oh, how old were you when I started league racing? I started league racing in
what year?
2010.
3 years
Oh
old.
my fucking.
Maybe 2, depending on what month.
There's no way you were You were drinking from the bottle still while I was starting
Yeah,
league racing.
November birthday.
Oh.
So probably 2.
Oh, your birthday's soon though, so gotta keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
Mine is actually
There's
this
a-
month.
There's a race the day. I think if we had one more week in pro, we would have had a race on my birthday.
Oh, okay. Well, we don't, sadly to say, but yeah. I mean, I don't think you would want to race on your birthday as well. I think you got.
No,
better
before
stuff
we had a race in Power Fun on my birthday. I remember.
Oh,
It was,
really?
Brazil.
to- Okay. Well, champagne after and then cake. Yes. Anyways, we'll be back for tomorrow Pro Series. Lars will be streaming that solo as he likes to do it. And from me and Rocco, this is a goodbye, adios, and.